In this video, we are going to discuss you about the International Governance on Civil and Political Rights. First one is International Governance on Civil and Political Rights was adopted by Government of United Nations on 19 December 1966 and Optional Protocol. First one is Introduction. International Governance on Civil and Political Rights is a key international treaty that protects civil and political rights. It was adopted by the United Nations General Assembly on December 16, 1966 and entered into force on March 22, 1976. The International Governance on Civil and Political Rights is one of the cornerstones of the international human rights framework and form part of International Bill of Human Rights alongside the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the International Governance on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights. The International Governance on Civil and Political Rights is a multilateral treaty adopted by the United Nations General Assembly on December 16, 1966 and in force from March 20, 1976. The International Governance on Civil and Political Rights is part of International Bill of Human Rights along with the International Governance on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The International Governance on Civil and Political Rights is monitored by the Human Rights Committee, a group of 18 experts who meet 3 times a year to consider periodic reports submitted by member states on the compliance with the treaty. Members of the Human Rights Committee are elected by member states but do not represent any state. The covenant contains 2 optional protocols. First one is Part 1, Article 1, Right to Self-Determination. Part 2, Articles 2 to 5, General Provision. Article 2, Obligations of States. Article 4, Non-derogable rights. Article 5, Prohibition of abuse. And Part 3, Substantive rights. Article 6 to 27, Substantive rights. Article 6, Right to life. Article 7, Freedom from torture. Article 8, Freedom from slavery. Article 9, Right to liberty and security. Article 10, Human treatment of detainees. Article 12, Freedom of movement. Article 14, Right to fair trial. Article 15, Freedom from retroactive penal laws. Article 18, Freedom of thought, conscience and religion. Article 19, Freedom of expression. Article 21, Right to peaceful assembly. Article 22, Freedom of association. Article 27, Rights of minorities. Part 4, Monitoring and Reporting. Article 28 to 45. Human Rights Committee. Article 28 to 39. Optional Protocols. Article 40 to 45. Part 5, Interpretation and Application. Article 46 to 47. Part 6, Final Provisions. Article 48 to 53. Next one is non-derogable rights. Rights that cannot be suspended. First one is right to life, freedom from torture, freedom from slavery, freedom from thought, conscience and religion, recognition as a taught before the law. For one tabulation from given International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. First one is Part 1, Article 1, the right of all people to self-determination. Part 2, Articles 2 to 5, provide legal remedy for any violation of those rights. Part 3, Article 6 to 27, rights to physical integrity. Part 4, Articles 28 to 45, the establishment and operation of the Human Rights Committee. Part 5, Articles 46 to 47, Interpretation Procedure. Part 6, Articles 48 to 53, governs ratification, entry into force and amendment of the Covenant. Next, then conclude part is the International Governance on Civil and Political Rights provides a robust framework for ensuring civil and political freedom globally. It binds signatory states to uphold and enforce these rights to domestic laws and international cooperation. Thank you.